All right, everybody, welcome to Endgame Sensei. I'm going to make a little jadoobs while we get ready. Kostya's face is off the screen. He's not off the screen, but he needs to be jadoobed. And
All right.
I'm the one who needs to jadoob him.
He's gonna
Right in the
Jadoob you.
middle of
You're
my
good,
camera, I
Kostya.
promise.
Yeah, there he is, a little jadoob. Okay, I'm gonna lower. Oh, watch this. I got a movable desk, my friends. If you ever want to feel jealous, there you go. Now you might be asking yourself, why can't I see the screen, boss? Because I'm gonna throw something on them. They can't see either. All right, they can't see either. Okay, first of all, do we sound okay before we start this? Because sometimes I start on a beautiful rant and then people can't hear me because my mic's off. And then the world loses something. A dove dies in Astana, Kazakhstan, if my voice can't be heard, giving my rant. All right, here we go. Are we ready, my friends?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Sure.
Welcome to Endgame Sensei, where I give two chump IMs a position that they will not enjoy. Will they learn something? Probably not. But maybe you will, through their trials and tribulations, and maybe, if nothing else, you'll get something out of the groans, the defeat, the lack of focus, just the lack of fitness overall that we're going to have to witness today. Okay, so today I'm going to do something a little different. Kostya called the position boring. And I was like, boss, this is like one of the fundamental positions.
Oh,
so
no.
I'm going to throw him a fundamental position. This is one that every chess player gets at least a couple times in their life.
Here we go.
And they better know what the hell they're doing, I'll tell you that.
Oh, I'm glad we're doing this one. Yeah.
Really?
All right.
You want to do it? Okay.
I'm happy to play. Yeah. No, but it gives the chat a chance to see the kind of position that Jesse's going to force them to play if they're 12 to 1300. This is the most interesting endgame position Jesse could think of for you guys. This one here.
That's right, my friends. All right, so it's going to start. They're going to groan, and then I'm going to window capture it. I don't want them to see it before it goes live.
We already see it.
No, you can't see it. All right, here goes. Pop! Oh, looks like there was an error. Please refresh. Oh, see, that's why we got to do this. Unbelievable. Refresh. Reload. Oh, the site's a wreck. This site's a wreck. Oh, buddy. There we go. All right, let's try that again. Maybe because I was away for half a second. I don't know. Okay, here we go. I had set it all up and everything. I can do it. It's okay.
Beautiful.
Okay. Hello, Kostya. That's his name. And then we're going to go 5:30. That's our time control, right?
Sure.
Pop. Oh, chess.com. Chess.com's having an error. It's having kind of an error day.
Uh-oh.
Oh, we might have a chess.com error day thing going on.
You see the screen with Danny sticking cords into the back of a computer.
No, I don't have that one, but every time I did it, it was like, whoops, looks like there's an error. You better refresh. So,
Jesse, if you send me the fen, I can
I'm not sending you no
David.
fan.
Okay, sorry. Never mind.
All right, I'll send you the fan. You can do it. Here we go, boss. Here we go. You can have the fan. Oh, shit. You know what?
It's not like I even know what the fen is,
No, the problem is with the fen, with ChessBase, when you copy it, it doesn't work quite right. Because it transfers as an image, so I got to go Notepad. This is a trick I've learned. I copy it in Notepad, and then I go, boom. This is ChessBase 1999 at work. All right, Kostya, here comes your fen, buddy. Pop!
It's still looking like a picture.
That's right. We knew it.
Fuck!
It's
God.
okay, Jesse. Come on. We already
Okay,
knew.
yes.
All right, I'm going to try this one more time. With this thing. They get to see the picture, unfortunately. Chess.com, you've really killed me this time. Here we go. Classroom. No, Castle. All right, here. Let's do this again. This is a notorious thing, and we're not going to go into the tech of it all. It's just too annoying. We're going to try this again. Match. Especially I got to write the thing out, and it doesn't work. It's really a pain. Okay. 5:30. Maybe we should say 1:30 on this one.
Wait, you're challenging me to 3-minute game, Kostya. You want 5
3
plus
minutes?
30, right?
I'm challenging you guys right now.
5 plus 30. But it didn't take.
Oops. Looks like there was an error. Sorry, please refresh. Are you getting the same problem, Kostya?
No, I'm just gonna challenge him
Okay.
the normal way. Actually, I think this is a new thing because now you didn't used to be able to just set up a fen and challenge someone. That actually makes things a lot easier for like sparring and stuff. But let me see.
Are you sure you're going to be able to do
This
it?
should
Thomas?
work.
You did it,
Okay.
Kostya.
All right, we got the game.
All right, and
That's
you gave me
actually way
white.
easier.
Good luck. Have fun. My clock's not ticking, so we'll see if this works.
Yeah, maybe make a move.
Let's just, well, and it's also not telling me that it's going to abort the game. Like it normally would immediately start talking to me about aborting. Okay, I'll try and move.
All right.
Okay.
Mute yourselves, fools. Mute yourselves.
All right. All right.
Where's the no 30-second increment anymore?
Oh, we didn't get increment?
We'll see. We'll see.
There's something up at the top that needs to get got. All right, my friends. This is a very interesting position that we'll see. I want to run it back to see. First of all, I set it up so they would have to have some understanding about what the right first move is. And the right first move is either g4 or rook b5. You have to stop h5. Once black gets h5, then it's easier to draw. This position is still technically a draw. But just do a little backstory. Coast to coast, okay? This guy was like, oh, boss, I can't believe you would ever make us play this position now. How could you do it to us? It's so unfair. I am, and I don't like these positions. Okay? So I'm like, boss, no, this is one you need to learn, my good friend. This is one you need to learn. Now, something I'm going to do, this is something the chat told me to do, is they were like, boss, you can mute this stupid thing. You can mute the page. Now it's not letting me do it, of course. Mute site. Bang! I muted it because you cannot turn off the dings anymore. Pin my ChessDojo live. This position looks like Eric's stream the other day. I don't even know what that means. Okay, so here's the thing. This endgame, I think, is, how should I put it? You can win, like the stronger player should basically be able to win this endgame. I'll put it like that. And the lower rated player, you know, if they know what they're doing, they will be able to hold, but generally they don't. So from a technical point of view, the position is equal. From a practical point of view, I would classify it as a clear advantage to white. Seth says this thing is wrong. Good luck. Okay. So here, interesting moment for David. I think h4 is the most challenging of the moves. And then Kostya would have a real decision on his hands after h4. Seth would just say, oh, it's equal powers. It's equal. I don't know. I don't know if it's equal. I think h4 is actually a really hard move to meet. So let me back up all the way and I'll talk a little bit about it. We're going to run it back too, by the way. So if it's black's move and black is allowed to play h5, that's, if you want to know one thing about this position, it's that in this position you want to know to automatically play h5. If white can prevent you from playing h5, then it's a lot harder. In particular, if we can get our pawn to h5. Okay, ooh, nice blue, chess.com, very nice. So here we go, g5, controversial. And now h4, I think, is the key question. We'll see what they do. If h4, f6, then rook b7 is going to be, I guess, winning. In fact, let's show a fun variation. h4, f6, check to the miserable king. Pow! Okay, boss. Come on, take it easy. Take it easy. Now, refresh this page, boss. Kostya's eating and playing. Is that allowed? No, it's not allowed. Chump. What is that chump doing? You can't be doing that. Yeah, he's talking all this smack as if it's really easy. Now, Okay, I liked h4 better. But what's nice about rook b6 is Kostya now has to do something. Now, you can tell he's really super confident. He's like, oh, I got this, boss. And against Bruce, you're playing a chump IM. You know, maybe you do. Maybe you do. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Uh-oh. David? Now, David, let me just say this. David will fight to the bitter end. So he's not going to just draw, even if he believes in his heart that it is actually a draw. So I think he needs to go back to a5. He kind of really blew it. He had his chance with h4. And it wouldn't, you know, it wouldn't be like some super easy deal thing if h4 happened. It would just have been the interesting position for us to get. There he goes back. And now king g6 makes our h4 a little bit more difficult. Oh, look, Kostya's just impervious. Impervious to the threat. Not impervious. Insouciant. Insouciant to the h4 question mark. Yeah. Was Magnus eating at the board too, man? Yeah, you're definitely not allowed at a real game, but jump IMs, dude. There it comes, h4. So now we're going to test Kostya's sense of things. I think you got to take. And then rook h5, and maybe you try to live with king g6. Interesting questions. I'm not sure. I'm not sure Kostya's going to make it here, my friends. I think this is already, this is an unpleasant position. Oh, it's so easy, cry. Oh, man, I could draw this in my sleep, dude. Such a chump position. And he was like, I showed him this position. So, by the way, we have Dojo 2.0 coming up. If you're in the dojo now, it probably won't feel that different. But we have tightened down a lot of things. We've rethought some things and made it, I think, much better. In particular, we're going to have a website that the boomers will be able to use. No, that was a terrible move, Kostya, because now rook a6 bows. And you don't want to play f6 there. Oh, buddy. You're right in danger. So now the pawn's going to get to h5. It's going to be a problem. Is it over? No. No. But it's getting to the danger zone. And Proust needs to understand that the pawn needs to go to h5, basically. This is danger zone. We're now in the danger zone. Now, the classic position would be like, let's say the pawn's back on g7 and we got the pawn to h5. That's still technically a draw, but it's very difficult. And so this is an interesting question of like, how will David be able to utilize the pawn on h5? For example, there's this square. I didn't like this move too much. The rook might want to go here. However, we can bring that rook and put it back there whenever we want. Whenever we want. Rook c4. Okay. Now, let me just say something about the white position. One thing I can guarantee is, I feel good about guaranteeing, is when you analyze this, let's say it's one of your games and you analyze it afterwards, you'll find that you had some chances to win. But finding those chances and executing on them is hard. So when we think about the end game, a lot of times people are like, oh, if I'm black, I don't know if I can hold this, yada, yada. But so much of the artistry is going to come from white in executing once you get the winning position and then creating the chances to get the winning position. Right? And Kostya, you're really lucky if you get somebody like Kostya, because Kostya thinks it's a draw, which is just like golden if you're white. It's golden. Excuse me, thinks it's an easy draw. Then you have magnificent chances to win. Just magnificent chances. And yeah, David can whittle waddle quite a bit. Maybe I should have put this at 1:30 just so that we're not here totally forever. My intuition is to put the rook on f5. Well, I don't know. Let's think about it. Definitely, I would do what David's doing and massage it just for a little bit. Now that he's achieved h5, we should just try to massage it a little bit. And we'll say there are two basic ideas to play for e4, f5, and to play for f4. And so one way to play for f4 is to stick our rook on e8. Let's ask a question, for example. If we got our king here, now maybe black can help prevent us from getting there, but if we got it there, would that be a huge achievement? Maybe it's not so special. Maybe not. So the basic question is, like, even though h5 seems like an achievement, Jesse, is there actually a way to present grief to the black pieces? There comes king f3. Now, as black, you have to decide, am I worried about king e4? If you're worried, then you probably play rook a2. And I think just from a practical point of view, rook a2 is probably what you want to do. And if you imagine then achieving king e4, you can put the rook there, but then when you go here, there's no rook d4 to block when you get checked. Good move. Okay. I don't know if it's a good move. What else is the guy supposed to do? You can tell Kostya's not thinking about it. He thinks it's easy. And maybe this one he's not going to have to think, but you can tell he's not thinking. He's just like, oh, this is easy. I got this covered. I got this covered, boss. Excuse my silence. I'm pondering. I'm pondering the position. I'm a ponderosa. Oh, come on, cry with the ponderosa. The ponderosa. Who are you, buddy, huh? Where do you come up with this stuff? Maybe this isn't so challenging in this position. Okay, there he goes, e4. Does not look correctamundo, but let's just see what the idea could be. That might be a flailing move, honestly, because now you're going to get whacked, and you're going to have to retreat into your little hole. You're going to do that kind of thing, and then what are you going to do? What are you going to do after all that goes down, boss? I don't know. I don't think you're going to do anything. So e4, I don't know, Mr. Fruce. I don't know, buddy. The worst part about this is if Kostya doesn't lose, then he's going to think it was easy. That's the worst part about it, Mouse. So, Stayman USA is saying rook f5. Yes, but then the rook can't block the rook checks from the side. So no one understands this king. I guess maybe David wants rook d2. The problem for this position is like which pawn break would even conceivably be a cool move. Like f4 isn't going to do it. So one thing about this starting position is that rook b5 is the more challenging move. With the intention of h4, h5. It's still totally possible for them to draw, but unfortunately this created a situation where Kostya, who's ignorant of the challenges that black might face, set this thing up and now might be able to draw this easily. Good question, Adam Beatty. That's what Kostya probably doesn't understand. It is an important rule. Now, if white achieves h4, h5, it's not over even then, but it's just it becomes much harder to defend. One thing that you can imagine is that the pawn is on h5. If you ever move the g-pawn and I get hg, fg, then I will have a passed e-pawn. If I get hg, king g6, then your pawns are split. And that's the dilemma you're going to face. And if you sit, you're truly sitting forever. Okay, David, what are you going to do here, boss? The bummer is f4, gf, king f4. It's not clear what we're doing. Now David is, I think, intending like some kind of king d4 thing. It's impossible. It's not going to work out, buddy. Well, he's massaging it. David likes to fight. That's interesting thing what Liard's saying, and that's absolutely right in terms of the intuition of what the first move should be. And one of the things I wanted to do this as a training position, both for them and to include it in the dojo, is to understand that with Rook b5, you are creating, it's not necessarily you're winning, but you are creating grief. And I am allowed to call this, by the way. If I feel it's going on forever, the sensei has the right to call it, because Bruce will play on to the death. That thing will never end, you know? So I'm allowed to call the game. I just had a vision of Bruce walking his king up there and the pawn here and then the rook landing here and saying, mate! That would be bad, Bruce. Don't do that, buddy. Resist the temptation. I like that we're trying here. I like that we're trying. One cool thing, actually. So there are chances here. One thing, if you can imagine e6 without rook e1 crushing you, h takes rook over. You know, if we wiggle and jiggle, especially if we ever win the h pawn, like if rook here and king here, rook here, then we can at least dream. Okay, let's go to think a little bit. He stopped eating. He stopped eating. That's got to be a good sign if we got Kostya to stop eating. Okay. Rook c7 might have been a thought there. I don't think it worked, but all right. All right, that's f3. The only compromise with f3 is now the rook can't use the f3 square. White's dream is obvious, right? He wants to get e6 in at some favorable moment, claiming that his king is better than the black king. The problem is that his king is getting wasted by all these checks. So on king e4, don't do it, Bruce. Don't do it. Don't do this, Bows. Whatever you do, don't do that, buddy. It would be really cool if you could, okay? But don't do it. It's really importante that you don't do it. So, rook d3 is, I think, our defaulto move so that we can scooch up a little bit. And at some point, we want to unleash the e6 beast. So like rook d3, king e4, and we can defend the checks. Oh yeah, there's some chances here. There's some chances. All right, Bruce, fighting this. Fighting this. Come on, Bruce. Punish this kid. You can see Kostya's face. He's still like, nah, I don't got any problems here, Bows. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Rook endgame start drawing. I read it in the book once. You know. I don't think Kostya's ever faced the real massage before. Let me tell you, friends, when you face the real massage, you get somebody like Carlson working you for hours and hours. I faced that massage. Not so pleasant for a peasant. I'll tell you that right now. Let's see if Bruce can give him a massage. Bruce loves massage. One reason I have to do this myself at some point, this Endgame Sensei, is I am not yet a master at the 30-second increment. I got hosed in this U.S. Amateur Team East, the first round. They had a delay of 5 seconds. It was the weirdest time control ever, and I basically ended up losing on time. Very distressing. Anyways, that's part of the deal. That's part of the deal with these newfangled time controls. I don't even get a chance all the time to play this 30-second business, but in general, that is where we're at. This is what I consider the standard biznats. He's never really gotten a deep tissue. That's right, he's never had it, my friends. He's never had the deep tissue. I'm definitely seeing ways in which White can at least pose some grief. Come on, Brucey, give him some grief. He's thinking about it. And to me, rook d3 is kind of automatic, but he's got some other idea going on. Maybe he's dreaming about No, I don't understand. Rook c7, we just get checked to death, so I don't understand that one. e6, just rook e1, so that's no puedo. So besides rook d3, Baus, what are you gonna do? If we do a thought experiment, imagine the king coming here. And I imagine a check here on a7, rook d7 or something. Okay, what is this rook b3? Maybe a massage, maybe a massaging move. I don't get it though. Like, what do we, after rook a4, don't we kind of have to go back? Well, maybe it's fine. We go back. So what? We can give them a massage. If I call this game early, it'll be like boxers. When one guy's out and is all buzzed, but thinks they're fine, and they're like, no, let me keep fighting. That's how Bruce is, but he always likes to keep fighting, which is good. Good. Especially if you're going to punish a fool like Kostya here, who needs to get punished in this position. If he doesn't get punished, he's never going to understand the dangers. And he's going to be like, this is just some position, the crime. We actually, I'll tell you the story. So, we're, for the dojo training program, a lot of times, most of the time we'll agree about stuff, but there'll be disagreements. And because it's three of us, we just vote it, so stop arguing. We're just going to vote it up or down. And me and Bruce were like, it wasn't quite this position, but it was for like the 12 to 1300 cohort as a slightly easier version for black. And I wanted to make it a little harder. Anyways, Kostya was like, this position's so boring. I can't believe we're doing this. Oh, so me and Bruce were like, Baus, no, we got to do it. Got to play the position, Baus. Got to play it. So that's the story anyway of how this thing happened. There we go, rook d3. We all knew it had to happen. Uh-oh, they're listening to me. Secretly listening. And then, we have to decide which games. We have a new games to memorize list. And Kostya was like, no, I don't want to do the Fischer Taimanov. I agree that's a great game, but it's too hard to memorize. It's too hard for a millennial. So no to that cry. And me and Bruce were like, no, Baus, we're going to make you learn endgames. You might not like it, but we are going to make you learn some endgames, fool. So there it goes. All right, Mr. Bruce. I don't know. There's something about King E4 he don't like. There's definitely ways to give black some grief here. I'm sure it's still drawn technically, but we can give him a little drama. What? Oh, dude. Don't ask me to explain that one, my friends. I have no idea. I have no idea what that one's about. I guess he wants to play rook e3. Just play king e4, Baus. See what Kostya was going to do. This one. What are you doing? No entiendo esto here, man. All I can think of is dude wants to really power thrust his pawn down. I don't know. I don't know what he wants, Baus. He's going to be doing something. I don't know. Now we're going to have like some nasty business with like rook a5, rook e3, and then he can check us to death. And then where are we going after that? No one knows. I don't know. I don't understand this move. I don't know if it buys time. After rook a5, it's like, well, Baus, what are you doing? An easy move to play. And the problem is, my friends, Kostya is going to be like, oh, this is a dumb endgame cry. It was so easy to hold. It was so easy, man. I can't believe we're doing this. People aren't going to like the dojo if we just give them these dumb endgames. Mr. Bruce is thinking, I don't know, he wants to move his king back on f1. This is getting obscene over here. What do you want to do, Brucey-kins? What are you doing? What are you doing? Bruce is going backwards. Go forwards, my friend. Go forwards. What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? Did you get in a bike accident? Yeah, sure. Germans had sometimes do those. I played it. I'm old enough. I played the Germans. I played the Germans, my friends, and yes, you could get adjudicated. You could get adjudicated. That's just the way it was. But don't get carried away. They're not going to adjudicate you unless it's extreme. Oh. All right, Bruce. Can we move the king up, bows? Can we move the king up and put it back to where it was supposed to be? Can we do that for me? Now, if Kostya feels no danger, he can allow Bruce to reclaim the position that we just had. We'll see. Rook Handler's asking, so white is winning the endgame if he gets the king to f5. It's not so simple for a pimple because if we're here and we get checked, we go to f5, we might get mated. But if we could arrange for king f5, then yeah, we can talk about it. We can talk about some business. Now, I don't like this at all, but I think I understand what dude is doing. He wants to play f4, and now Kostya is going to have to ask, do I need to stop it? Do I need to stop this move? One thing I was thinking is that the pawn, might be some variations where we play f4, let him take, and then have our king hide behind over here. All right, Kostya feels no danger, and we're going to see if f4 comes now. Kostya's basically saying, no, the king can't come out. You got to play f4, and he feels no danger on f4. That's probably fair. But Brusikins is going to play f4 here. And the bummer there is then we don't even have the option. I really like the vision of putting the king on f5 and letting the pawn hang out so that our king is allowed to stay for a half a second while we organize some kind of breakthrough. It would have needed some lucky circumstances, but it was an idea. I like the way Bruce is thinking here. He's thinking. Here we go. They're both jumps, double loss. I don't think e6 does anything, my friend. Oh, he did it. I thought f4 was a better try. Kostya's going to take that thing. Oh, it was a pre-move. You can see David, he might be old, but he can pre-move. That's something. All right, Kostya, if you can't draw this, buddy, I don't know what position you're going to draw. I'm sorry to say it. So we're looking at rook e7, and then king g8 has to happen. Now king h7, obviously. Yeah. This is no longer a challenge, my friend. I'm about to call this. I'm about to call it. We'll let him play a couple more moves because Bruce will be upset. What the hell is he doing? He's going backwards. Bruce is going backwards. Should I call it? Chat? Should I call this thing? Yeah, I'm going to call it. All right. All right. I'm calling it. Run it back. These chumps. Let Kostya off easy. They might not even see it. They're so involved. I don't even see my little Discord message. The chumps. Bruce hasn't got the message yet. He's still that guy would fight. Let me just say, Bruce was playing Yermo once. Alex Yermolinsky, one of the best Rook endgame players on the Alpine 8, and it was 3 against 3, and Bruce was playing on. Bruce was playing on. Oh, Bruce says no. See what I'm saying, Bows? All right, Bows. All right, you better show me something. You better show me something, Bows. No. Bruce says no. Oh shit. That's like when you're in the soccer match and the coach calls you off the team and you're just like, no, I'm not coming off. I'm not coming off, coach. I still want to play, Bows. I still want to play. I still want to play, coach. You gotta let me play. I'm coming in. Now, I do admire that he wants to punish Kostya Kost, and Kostya Kost doesn't deserve some punishment. There is no doubt about that. Kostya Kost, that kid, he needs to get hurt before he understands that chess is a little bit more complicated than his millennial dreams. Right? That's right. Well, we're going to be here for a while. I got to leave it, too, is the thing. I could be here all day. I thought I was the sensei. I thought I was allowed to call it. I'm not allowed to call it, man. They can keep playing. I don't know. They can't keep playing because I'm hosting this thing. Forget about it. Hello, Kostya offered to draw. D. Proust declined the draw. He's an angry man. It's hard to envision how this would work out. We've already been here 47 minutes, Bows. I guess I got 47 more minutes. But no, I don't have 47 more minutes. I just don't got that kind of time. Providing gesture toward his loin. I want to look up the etymology of loin. That's where I am at with this stream. Let's look up the etymology of loin. Loin Wiktionary. Let's see what it says. From Middle English loin, Old French loin, from Latin lumbus, or ultimately from Proto-Indo-European lend. Okay. Haunch loin. At each side, the part of the body of humans and quadrupeds at each side of the backbone, between the ribs and the hips. Any of several cuts of meat taken from this part of an animal. Okay, there you go. I'll give you a pronunciation. Here's what it sounds pronounced.
Loin.
Let's do that again.
Loin.
See, Liart? There you go. I should have some abilities here. Now, is Kostya messing this up? Dude, Kostya, are you screwing the pooch? Are you screwing the pooch? Don't screw the pooch, Kostya. Kostya might be a little danger zone. We're gonna find out. He's definitely allowed it further than it should have gotten. Still hard to imagine. But we're going to give Bruce some credit. He's giving a little touch. You know, you need a little touch. Check to the miserable king. Now, don't play king f6, Bows. Don't play king f6. If like the rook were on e7 here, and we could play king f6, then we're kind of in business. The bummer is with rook d7, the guy's going to play rook f4. Bruce, dude, no. No draw for me, buddy. Yeah, what's that? That Spanish Kepa Arrizabalaga was supposed to come out when the coach was like, "Come out of the game, boss. You're done. We're getting you subbed in." And the dude was like, "No, I'm not coming out. I still want to play." Major soccer scandal, dude. Major soccer scandal. Bruce offered a draw. Okay. Jeez, Melise. Jeez. All right, run it back, Bows.
Play again?
Run it back, Bows.
Okay. One sec.
Maybe my minion. Now, let me just say, I used to have minion powers, which allowed me to construct the game between any two players. But maybe with just the coding that's gone on with chess.com, maybe I've lost those privileges. We'll see if Kostya gets the first move right. He heard that. He heard that. All right, let's go, my friends. I gotta leave, by the way. If you guys are listening to me, I can't stay forever. Got a Sensei question. The Grinch. All right, here we go. H4, incorrect. Incorrect. Black just plays H5 and it's an easy draw. No understanding of chess. See what I'm saying, my friends? Nothing. Nothing. Got nothing up. No understanding of chess. Now we'll see. We'll see if it's very hard to win now. I will just put that from experience. Very hard to win. I will read a question from the Sensei questions. If you're in the dojo training program, you can ask a question basically about the training program. Mostly you can ask about anything, but mostly it's about the training program. Here we go. This is from the Grinch. I'm in the 900 to 1000 band working on memorizing my classic game. I just wanted to check in because the 900 to 1000 game in the Elite Chess Study is the immortal game. Oh, but the game as it appears on the dojo website, very good, is different. Right. And the reason for that, my friends, there's a good reason, is because Dojo 2.0, we shifted the classic games around. So I'm going to reply to this as we're waiting for these chumps to play here. So, what do we got here? All right, we're going to say, good catch. The reason is that we've shifted some games around for Dojo 2.0. Part of, or rather the goal of our epic Best Games Ever series was to help us select the games to memorize. And for 900, 1000, we couldn't leave the Kizaritsky game out, exclam. All right, there it is. Okay, these chumps, man. Neither got the first move right. How can you play H4? It is mysterious. So I think Kostya, let's talk about Kostya. Kostya probably understood in some vague recollection of his mind that if you could achieve H4, H5, that was the right move. He also overheard me that there was a right move, but clearly didn't understand chess. Now, the key, neither of them got really where it gets interesting. So both players need to understand that preventing black from playing H5 is critical. So if we start at the starting position here for a second, I promise we'll go back. So a variation could be Rook B5, check, check, and here with the intention that if King G3, then we play G6 and there's no G4. Right? Now, nota bene, that position with G5 can still be achieved. in the sense that we play rook b5, and if g6, g4, g5. And that's still a very promising position for white, even though Bruce made it look like it was not a... made it look... I know, he pressed a little bit. There was some key moments. He didn't do what he needed to do. All right, let's see if these chumps hold it easily or what. Yeah, the problem here is it's very hard to make progress. But I'll say this. When you really go deep in the analysis, there'll be moments where somebody screws it up. It might seem like emotionally like nothing was going on, it was always a draw, but usually when you look deeper at it, you're like, oh, there were chances. You know, you really do a deep study, like, oh, the chances were missed. Big chances were missed. This one is hard to get something going. Once the pawn gets h5, it's difficult. Still possible. I think anyone who's played chess a long time will get this position many times, you know, just many times in their chess career. And Hello Kostya is playing quickly, like as if there's, you know, same thing with before. It's like, I don't see anything. There's nothing going on here, Cry. Why did you make me do this? You know, I'll just move some pawns around, nothing to think about here. No, I would give him a couple checks, because it's just a draw anyway. What are you doing, Mouse? What is white going to have to do? White's going to have to come around, put the rook on e3, then move it back, and then try to make progress from there. But the first thing that has to happen is the rook has to come back to e3. No one knows what Kostya's doing over there. He's got some kind of notion. Now, you could say he doesn't understand about the rook e3. It's fine to massage the dude. One thing about defending these endgames, I'll tell you, we play someone really strong like a Magnus or somebody who's really good at endgames. They play a move like rook b5. And you're like, even if you don't understand it, you're like, well, wait a second. I got to really think about this. Maybe dude has an idea. And sometimes they do. Sometimes they're massaging you. That's the beauty of the massage. You don't know. You don't know if they're doing genius stuff or not. Maybe they're just moving around, you know, especially if they kind of do it with a light touch on the piece. You're like, oh, Baus, what are you doing to me? You know, and, you know, when you play enough people who are really good at endgames, you're like, oh, I better look. Maybe something's happening here. Yep. Like in the first position, like if you don't know what's going on and your opponent plays rook b5, you're like, well, what is that? I don't know. You know, it's not an easiest thing. All right. Oh, la, 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 la. What is D.L. Borger saying? Are you guys, oh, this is a good question from Seth. Are you guys going to do videos or annotations of some sort for the games to memorize? That is definitely on the agenda. Uh-oh, someone's saying what happened to the audio. Oh, that's what Seth is saying. Sounds fine to me. He might mean the audio of the chumps. The chumps can't talk. That's one of the things. When you're a chump and you're playing out these endgames, you're not allowed to say anything. That's fair, right? It's like, why would we want them to say anything? You know? Kostya, Baus, go put your rook on e3, move it back to b3, and then proceed, Baus. And then you can proceed, Baus. Yeah, after black achieves h5, it's kind of hard. Now he's thinking. Now he's like, I'll think about it now, Baus. Maybe he's contemplating. No, maybe it's not dumb, actually. Maybe he's contemplating e5 check possibility. Let's think about this. I think on e5, black should probably, okay, rook c5. We're just going to massage a little bit. Kostya wants to be a masseuse. That's okay. You know, I want to say about the foot massages, you know, it's very common these days to have the ability to go get a back rub. Though, these days, it's very hard to get a back rub, actually. With the pandemic, it became a real problem to get a back rub. In any case, what am I trying to say? You hear about people getting back rubs all the time, acupuncture. It's very rare to have the opportunity to get a foot rub. Right? It's very rare. You don't see that advertised. Kostya's trying to give Bruce a foot rub. He doesn't have the skills, though, to give the rub. He's just going back and forth. Doesn't even tickle. You gotta at least make it tickle, Bowes. You gotta make the tickle. He's just going back and forth like a chump. I don't know what to do about. King d6 is fine. It's a little frisky. King f6. Let's call that prudent. Let's call King f6 prudent, but it doesn't matter. Fine. Rook f3 is the threat. Don't fall for it, Kostya. Don't fall for it, Bowes. He's thinking. I was saying he's thinking, but might be stinking. Might be stinking. Oh, Charlie Silva, let's not talk about the mayo. Okay, leave the mayo out of it. Leave the mayo out. We can't do that. You're gonna get us canceled, Bowes. You're gonna get us canceled. I'm surprised at Kostya. Kostya's very patient with me, honestly, because he could have canceled me so many different times for just a variety of reasons too. Now, does anyone understand what the rook on h8? It's like it feels guilty for allowing the pawn to h5, so it's going to kind of like stare menacingly at that pawn. But the chances to control h5 have kind of been lost, dude. You know? And let's say you could do a Freudian analysis of that rook h8 move. You know, I'm sad about it. Oh, this is just disgusting. This is no bueno. I'm ready to call it. I'm ready to call. I've seen enough. Do you have what what are George Costanza hands, dude? Hold on, I'm gonna Google that, dude. George Costanza hands. What are we talking about? George. I love George Costanza, but I feel like I'm pretty good on my Steinfeld trivia, but what does that mean? Oh, because he's a hands model. Right, dude. Wikipedia, the puffy shirt. The puffy shirt is the second episode of the 5th season. Jerry has to wear a puffy shirt. I remember that. Right? And in the subplot, George embarks on a promising career as a hand model. Nice. There's a picture of the puffy shirt. I remember the puffy shirt. I forgot about the hand model. Yeah, fantastic. That's pretty good, Seth. That's a pretty good reference, Bowes. What was his last move? King f6? I don't know. I have mild disagreements with King f6. It's fine, Bowes. Just go play King g7. You can do it. It's fine. I'm about to call it. And Kostya's going to say, no. No. I'm not going to let you call it. No. This is drawn beyond drawn, my friends. Sad. Sad. Yep. Thing is, if I call it, Bruce might be like, no. Bruce might be the one to be like, no, boss. I'm playing this out. Now, you can't take me off the field, coach. Not doing it. There's already a bunch of women on Twitch doing lingerie and Puzzle Rush. Are you kidding me? That's already that's like a business that's already been discovered, my friend. You are not new to this idea. Let me defend. All right, stinking up the dojo here, man. Come on. A couple more moves. We'll bring him on. I got to bring him back on at least to show him the principle of the endgame, you know? So the chumps understand. So the chumps understand. One way, and actually, here's an example of where I'm chess deficient. So there's a couple players, Carlsen among them, who can really remember like games and years. They'll be like, see a position and be like, oh, this was Joe Schmo against Papaditovic in 1923. And here he made this mistake. So for me, for example, I've studied a lot of classic games with this ending. And besides one with Smyslov, I can't remember the names of the people, right? And even in that game with Smyslov, I can't remember who Smyslov was playing against, right? If I could, it would be helpful for a variety of reasons, even for my own chess development. But for presenting, I could be like, okay, Bruce, I want you to go look at this classic game, you know, that kind of thing. Or Kostya. Kostya just thinks it's a draw and it's dumb, you know, what can you do? But anyways, I'm trying to say that I've never been good. And it's a special skill, obviously. And by the way, if you go to YouTube and you do like Levin Aronian or Magnus, like you type in either of those names in memory, and dude, it's just like they're showing them some positions and then boom, 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 they get it. And other weird things that they're able to remember. It's obvious that their minds are working on a level that there's no amount of training you could do to achieve that, right? There's no amount of memory training I could do to remember a bunch of games, for example. All right, Baus, I think we're going to call it. Call it! All right, we're calling it. All right, here we go. Bruce is all I know. All right, I'm calling it. Have to go soon. Kostya's going to be like, nope. Oh, he's repeating. He's just going back and forth. He's been going back and forth his whole life. Oh, cry. Take it easy. Be nice. Just be nice for once. You know? You don't have to be so cruel all the time. Okay. Oh, look at that. There's a little, you guys can't hear it, but there's a little arrow thing that shows when the position was repeated. Okay.
GG's.
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 All right, to make this mildly instructive, I'll pose it as a question. In the beginning position, what should white be striving for?
Maybe E4?
David, any ideas?
I mean, I think you want to... I mean, I can't say it in one sentence, but I thought that... Well, I played G4 to gain space.
Uh-huh.
And I thought against G5 by Kostya, that defense, that the main plan for white would be H4. And if you can trade with GH4, Rook H5, Rook H4, or something like that, then black has split pawns. And if black plays H6 and lets you go H4, H5, then you create a weakness on H6, which I think is progress, but I couldn't show anything past that.
Okay, so in a sentence, first of all, it is objectively still drawn, but there's possibilities to really massage a dude. Okay, so in a sentence, White's goal is to play h4, h5. h4 on the first move, though, is completely incorrect because h5 immediately ends it. So the first move here is probably the best practical move is rook b5. And someone in the chat, I was kind of interesting, was like, oh yeah, Alekine says in this rook endgame, it's the rook on the 5th rank. There's a lot of classic games where like rook b5 is the beginning, and yeah, we go on from there. It's still drawn, but we get a lot of drama from there. And
But rook b5, I was thinking black goes g6, and then what's the point?
well,
G4 there.
you're still going to play g4, and we can transpose to the game.
Oh, but then it would be g4, g5?
And one of the interesting things for you, Kostya, is on g4, you had the extra option of playing h5 immediately. So in the game with g4, g5, that's an interesting position. Probably still technically drawn, but one where White could have given you a little bit more grief than he did. But it's
Oh, I should
dangerous.
have played h5 against g4.
I think, let me just put it this way. The reason to play rook b5 first is that on g4, maybe black gets to play h5 immediately.
Oh, I
Yeah,
see.
I'm going to go ahead and say that h5 immediately looks like, oh, that's a bummer for White.
I
So-
kind of thought one.
So a good rule of thumb, which is a great rule of thumb, is in this position, which you will get at some point, rook b5 is the correct move, and h4, h5 is the dream.
Okay. That's good. Yeah, I was definitely at a sort of beginner level on this. Like, I didn't consider h5 on the first move after g4. Just didn't even consider it. And even my idea with like rook b5, h4, gh4, rook h5, I had sort of, I had a vague idea of it, but I miscalculated a response from Kostya where basically in our game where he can go king g6, and then if I go rook h4, he can play king g5. And that's why I had to then slow down my plan.
That was a still interesting position because you don't have to take immediately on h4. And on king g6,
Right.
you can play f4.
I know, that's why I prepared it though, by playing king g2 first, so that I could play f4 and then bring my king to f3 and slow play that.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, let's end it there. We'll put this on our page for, obviously on the YouTube and stuff, but in all these positions, we are playing out certain things that are in the program. I modified this position a little bit from what's in the 12 to 1300 cohort, just so that I would give them the opportunity to see if they understood the thing about controlling h5. And now we got a lesson out of it. They got a lesson for the rook b5. And like I was telling Chad, I'm not good at remembering like the specific games. Smyslov held it. It felt effortlessly, but you know, that's just like many players have lost it once you get the pawn to h5.
Yeah, I think it would have been, I don't know, I think it would have been more fun if we had like maybe looked at some examples first. You know, like
We had
if
your
I
example,
looked
buddy.
at
We had your example. They're looking at you, buddy.
example.
So what you
No,
can
I'm just
see
saying
actually,
like because it's a drawn endgame, right, with best play. So it would have been cool if we had a chance to maybe look at like some Carlsen games or like some games where White like manages to pose problems. Because during the game, yeah, it was just very hard to come up with ideas, you know, in like the first 30 seconds.
so here,
Yeah.
here's my takeaway. What you can see
We should play it
is,
again.
if you understand the principle, you can take out, you have chances to take out an IM. You can do it. It's there.
Yeah, I think this position is winnable, but like, because I remember seeing some examples like the Retsky, like where White gets the pawns like e5, f4, g3, h3, and then that's like that poses some problems as well. But yeah, during the game, of course, it's like hard to, without knowing some of these examples first.
Yeah, I thought I was sort of doing something, but then it wasn't enough to really challenge you, I guess.
No, either game, I didn't think Black had any issues at all.
Yeah,
We
so you
could
never
tell.
really had any worries. You were playing pretty quickly on defense.
We could tell you had no sense, Kostya. We're just like, it's this drawn. I was like, Kostya. Or it was rather like Bruce. The whole time I was like, Bruce, beat him, boss. Just beat him so he has a little respect for the game.
Oh.
No, I
Teach him
was.
Because he
something.
thinks
would've,
it's too easy to draw.
Yeah,
I would
that was
have
too
loved
easy.
to lose. I wasn't bored. I would have loved to have been shown how White can pose some serious problems here. That would have been very instructive.
I tried.
Okay, guys, Liard is making some nice points about Rook B5, and Alekine, right, and other classic people talked about the endgame. They didn't have, by the way, this understanding of what I was saying in the chat, which to call it clearly better, right? That's a more modern understanding. Back in the day, like with Rook B5, I think somebody like Alekine would be like, oh, maybe I might be able to win it. Their understanding was a little bit different. So already, right, like the study of Rook endgames has increased to the point where Smyslov could draw it without too much grief, but like the other chumps at that level, right, even a very high level, not necessarily able to draw it. I'm not sure. I mean, if I'm playing Carlsen, I don't think I'm drawing it, boss. I don't think so. Yeah.
Okay, let me ask you a quick question, Jesse. Like, was there any point in my game with Kostya where I had White where you thought he was actually in danger? Or you just wanted him to lose because he thought the end game was easy? Or said that it was a boring choice?
I definitely wanted him to lose because he was insouciant to the problems at hand. But I didn't like it when, I don't know if it was ever winning, but I definitely didn't like it when you thought it was a good idea to bring out your king all the way home. King wants to go up, boss. It doesn't want to go all the way home.
Yeah.
But I think that would be an interesting thing. I have to go, unfortunately, but if we had time, that would be like a thing you could analyze, and there's a lot of ideas of timing, obviously, a breakthrough, maybe sacrificing the f4 pawn, letting it stand on f4, breaking with e6, trying to get in, and it will become tactical, right? It will become a very tactical mess. All right, guys, I got to run. That was fun.
All right.
We
Thanks,
will do it
Jesse.
again soon. And, by the way, these guys, I'm going to stop streaming, but you're going to keep going, right? Tournament.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. Bye. Stick around. We're going to keep going.